So, one of the biggest benefits of hemp, as I understand it, is the fact that it contains a lot of essential fatty acids, specifically omega-3 and omega-6. Can you tell us a little bit about those particular fats and why they're so beneficial to our health?
Yes, for sure. Omega-3 and omega-6 are the essential fatty acids that the body doesn't make and must get from our food chain in order to use as a raw material to make basically every function in the body. As an example, every cell in our body, the membrane, is fatty acids. And our brain is mostly fats. Our nervous system is all coated with fats. So if we're not getting the proper amount of fats in our diet, we start to have a disconnect or a short-circuiting process going on in our bodies. And that's the effects we see with a lot of these nervous disorders, ADD and things like that are going on out there. It's because of a shortage of good fats. Even though a lot of people are taught to have low-fat, no-fat diets because they don't want to gain weight, there's a big difference between good fats and bad fats. So when you process these good fats that we were just talking about, and you know, by heat processing or genetically altering or chemical treatments, they become trans, which means they get bent out of shape and the body can't utilize them, and they're really dangerous in our systems because they start befuddling our system and really are toxic to us. And that's the problem. It's not the good fats are the problem, or the fats that we should be getting from all of our plant sources, because they're so valuable for us, they're so critical for every single function. It's the challenge is the way we've turned them into these non-foods.
Well, I heard an interesting statistic through Udo Erasmus, who knows a lot about fats, and that seems to be his specialty. And he talks about when you have a teaspoon or a tablespoon of trans fat, that's 1 million negative molecules for every cell in your body.
Exactly, and that's only 1%, and there's only 1% toxic molecules in that tablespoon.
Yeah,
It's huge.
It's amazing to me.
Yeah.
Now, what about the other EFA sources, like olive oil, flaxseed oil, and fish oil? What are the challenges in using that on a regular basis? I've heard you can be deficient.
Excellent. See, the beautiful thing about hemp seed, it has a perfect balance of omega-3 to omega-6, which is a 1:3 ratio. The ideal ratio the human body utilizes it, compared to, as you explained, olive oil. Olive oil actually doesn't have a lot of omega-3 and omega-6. It's mostly what we call a monounsaturated. The EFAs are polyunsaturates. They're a little bit longer chains, more complex. Monos are a little bit less, and your body actually makes those because it'll break down these polyunsaturates into what it needs. So we don't really need to eat a lot of monounsaturates. It's more prevalent for us and more important for us to eat the EFAs, the essentials, and because our body will break them down. So in comparison to flaxseed oil is an amazing source of omega-3 fatty acid. The challenge is it's unstable because of the volatileness of the omega-3 fatty acid. So unless it's processed correctly, or you're getting good fresh flax seeds, you could run into challenges of, again, this destabilization and these fatty acids starting to break down and become toxic to our system. So in comparison to
Fish oil was another one.
Fish oils is a critical one that we're all concerned about right now, because fish oils also contain, see, the fish has already gone and eaten these raw materials from other sources, whether it be plankton or other fish, and they've broken, their bodies taken these oils and broken down to a smaller chain that's easier for us to access, but also it's converted it to things like DHA and EPA, these other hormones. And these hormones are what we're trying to get at. However, our body makes those things. They're not essential. The challenge is most people's organs aren't functioning in high enough capacity in order to do that. So I do recommend that people do eat fish oils for a certain period of time, especially when they're transitioning into this sort of a lifestyle, because they need to get those hormones developed again. But if you can't continue to take hormones like that, your body gets lazy, because your body will make those. It's designed to, but it needs the raw materials. Just like if you have a factory that makes 2x4s, you need to put trees in once in a while. Our body's the same. We call them essential nutrients. So, but here's the challenge now. We're in a time where our environment is really toxic. So these fish and all the animals that we're eating all the time, they're not as clean and healthy as they were 100 years ago. So we're taking in more and more toxins with these other animals. Guaranteed they're going to be concentrated in the fats.
Well, we've heard that, there's certain fish you're not supposed to eat more than once a month or once every 3 months because they have so much mercury in the tissue. And
exactly.
Yeah. Well, important information.
So in my opinion, less is better. In fact, none is even better. Why? We don't need to. We can eat plant oils and get everything we need.